Rise for our national anthem and the presentation of the colors.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam? But bright and bright stars to the perilous night, for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, the Provost of Virginia Commonwealth University, Dr. Gail Hackett.
Good morning. Please be seated. So welcome to Virginia Commonwealth University's May commencement ceremony. Today, we gather for the honor of celebrating the accomplishments of VCU's class of 2015. My name is Gail Hackett, and I am the Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs of VCU. On behalf of President Michael Rao, the Board of Visitors, and our faculty and staff, it is a pleasure to welcome each of you to this morning's commencement ceremony. I am pleased to recognize our VCU Police Honor Guard, our soloist Aaron Jones, and the VCU Commencement Band conducted by Terry Austin. Let me begin by introducing those who share the platform with me today. I will ask the members of the platform party to rise as you are recognized and remain standing. Please kindly hold your applause until the end of the introductions. Seated to my left, the Rector of the VCU Board of Visitors, Bill Ginther, Vice Rector Bill Royal, and members of the Board of Visitors. Also to my left, our VCU Alumni President. Seated to my right, our University Vice Presidents. Seated behind me, to my right, Faculty Senate President June Nicholson and Student Government Association Presidents Jonathan Ramey and Brandon Day. Also seated behind me are deans representing each of the schools with graduates today. On each side of the stage are our Grand Marshals, Umberto Fabello and Ellen Byrne. Other members of the platform party who are not recognized at this time will be recognized during the program. Will all the members of the platform party please rise and be recognized? Thank you for recognizing this wonderful group of people. In various locations in the arena are members of our outstanding and committed faculty, including several emeriti faculty members who have joined us today. Would all faculty please stand so that we may congratulate and thank you for the integral role that you played in transforming the lives of all of our graduates. And let's also take a moment to thank the many families and friends who have supported our graduates through the years and who have made this day so meaningful to each of them. So would the parents, grandparents, spouses, significant others, children, and friends of our graduates please stand and be recognized. It is my pleasure now to welcome to the podium the President of Virginia Commonwealth University, Dr. Michael Rao.
Good morning. It is so good to be here together with all of you this morning. Governor McAuliffe, it is both an honor and a pleasure to be with you again this morning. It is a privilege to stand here before this large group to thank you for your vision and for your leadership of our Commonwealth and for investing in its future through your strong commitments to higher education, research, healthcare, and discovery. You and the First Lady have made a very important difference in countless lives, including in the lives of our students and so many members of their families. You've done this in a very short time. VCU is very proud to partner with you and the Commonwealth in so many ways. Thank you for your great leadership. I'd also like to say that Provost Hackett, thank you as well. Thank you for such a gracious introduction, and let me thank you for 2 remarkable first months that you have served at VCU. You've already begun to make a tremendous difference, and you've made some really important moves that positively impact the lives of our students and our faculty. Provost Hackett joined us just this last March, and she's already a very important leader at our university. She's focused intently on the success of our students and all of the people whose lives are connected with VCU. An already accomplished provost from the University of Missouri, she decided to join us and become our provost because she recognized that our students come to VCU because they want not only to graduate, but to use the wisdom and the talents that they gain at VCU to help go out and change the world. You know, what you discover in our classrooms, in our laboratories, in our clinics, in our studios, and of course in our community, are not the end to get you here today, but really the beginning of the ways in which you will someday conquer humanity's biggest problems and most important needs. You're graduating not just from any university, but from one of the world's premier research universities, a university that's committed to discovery, to creativity, and to advancing what we know as the human experience everywhere in the world. And so today, you are more than just a college graduate. You are a leader in your field, and you are a leader in each of your communities. You're going to be asked to make a difference for those who need you to be your very best. Not garden variety, but your very, very best. Research universities like VCU are really amazing places because we have a unique mission. We're responsible for thinking about the future, what it will look like, what it might become, and how people are going to experience it. We do this through our commitment to research, to creativity, and perhaps most importantly, because we refuse to accept the limits of what some people think is possible. At VCU, the sky is not the limit, but our mission is really twofold. While we're busy creating the future, we're also educating those who will someday lead it. You're going to make the best possible future that I can imagine. You are absolutely the future of Virginia, the future of our country, and the future of our world. So, what future do I see when I look out at every one of you? Well, it's one that really values diversity, one that is sincere in terms of a commitment to compassion, and one that respects every human being from every background, and one in which every human being has a voice, a real voice that matters and counts. One that leverages all of its resources and all of its ideas to ensure that all of its people may live the very best, the longest, and the most productive lives. One that focuses on collaboration, not credit. One that focuses on results, not just reputation. One that is sustainable because it values what really matters most. And what matters most? What matters most are the people who will comprise this bright future that's so full of hope and promise. Today, it is my privilege and honor to thank you for the future that you will create. Thank you for representing VCU. Remember, your alma mater, as society's most thoughtful leaders. And I congratulate you on achieving this transformational and very important milestone in each of your lives. Congratulations. And now, it's my distinct honor and pleasure to introduce someone who works very hard, an enormous number of hours in a day, every day, to ensure that Virginia and all of our 8 million people have a very bright future. He's our keynote speaker and one of our biggest supporters. He is our governor. Terry McAuliffe was elected the 72nd governor of Virginia in 2013, and he is focused on issues related specifically to economic growth, transportation, and government ethics. And I'm very proud to say he's been a great champion for higher education. I've worked with many governors in many states during my time as a university president over the many years, and I will tell you that Governor McAuliffe is among the very best in the way in which he supports universities like ours, understands our mission, our people, and by the way, he expects us to perform, and he knows we will. He's already seen lots of that. He is absolutely your biggest advocate. So, at this time, I ask you to kindly put your hands together and very warmly welcome our governor, the governor of Virginia, Terry McAuliffe.
Good morning, everybody. Come on, good morning. You fired up? Thank you, President Rao, for that introduction, and thank you for the spectacular work that you do. It is great to be here at VCU, and since I'm governor, I can say whatever I want. Right now, the greatest university in Virginia, VCU. Morning, Ram Nation, and make no mistake about it, Havoc lives right here, folks. Oh, that crazy Texas was thinking about. They crazy? This is Havoc. It's an honor and privilege to be here with you today. This is my home team, as you know, the governor's mansion down the street, so I get to go to all the VCU games, so you are in my backyard. Honestly, I love VCU. And I love you too, because I know what you're going to do for the Commonwealth of Virginia. Graduates of VCU are leading the way in innovative new industries while restoring vitality to our existing businesses. More than half of VCU students intend to start a company one day, and 15% actually are doing that while they're in school today, folks. That is incredible, and I can't think of another school in America that can say that today. Last year in 2014, VCU students created 8 new companies. And you know what these facts say to me? They say that VCU isn't just a great school, it's a great training ground for the real world. And I'm here to congratulate all of you for the great hard work that you've done. I also want to thank your professors, parents, family, and friends for the support that you have offered these graduates to help them make this milestone. I know we did it before, but let's do it again. I want the graduates to clap and thank the folks who helped get you here today. So let me just give you a few pieces of advice, and let me start your clocks, folks. I promise you, I'm going to be up and down in 10 minutes. That's usually the best applause line. I'm here to give you a few pieces of advice that I hope you will follow as you take what you've learned at VCU and go out to the world today. There are several things that I tell my 5 children every single day about their future. And I tell my children to take your experiences and go do and follow your passions. We had a daughter graduate last year. She immediately went over to Africa to save elephants because that's what Dory wanted to do. In another week, our son Jack will be graduating from the United States Naval Academy and will become a 2nd lieutenant in the United States Marine Corps. Saving elephants, Marine Corps, you're beginning to get the theme. They are doing exactly what they want to do. And we are so proud of them because they're doing what they love. What I have always told my children is 3 basic messages. Number 1, always think big. Number 2, always take chances. And number 3, never be afraid to fail. And if you follow these 3 pieces of advice, folks, your future will be great. Let's start with the think big. I don't know if many of you know how I started my career. I had to earn money if I was going to be able to go to college. So I remember like yesterday, I was walking home in upstate New York, and I saw a guy out sealing his driveway, putting that hot tar down. I was 14 years old. I said, you know what? I can do that. I went home, I typed up a letter, handed it out to my neighbors. I had 6 jobs my first day. I was in business. I had business cards. The next year I said, I got to go big. I got to start doing parking lots. Now, in order to do parking lots, you need to get those big, huge 55-gallon barrels of tar. So you need a big, huge industrial truck. I'm 15 years old. I call up my Uncle Billy Byrne and say, Uncle Billy, I need one of your old dairy trucks. I con him into it. He says, yeah, there's some out in an old field, Terry. You can go. If you can fix it up, you can have it. I went out, gas, oil, spark plugs, fixed the truck up. And I tell you, folks, to this day, I still get chills in my body when I think when I turned that key and that engine roared to life. I drove that truck down Interstate 81. I went past the New York State Trooper substation. I am hitting the horn, big truck, can hardly see over the windshield. I'm waving at the state troopers. I don't have a license, and I don't have any license plates on the truck. But folks, I was in business. I was an entrepreneur. I took those experiences and went on to start over 30 different companies. I used that experience to become our nation's youngest bank chairman at the age of 30. So I have taken chances my whole life. Now, I don't want the parents to all get a little worried here. I'm telling you all to go out and seal driveways. But what I am telling you, folks, at your young age, this is the time you have the ability to take chances and think big, which is so important, taking chances. You have to take chances in life. Probably the biggest turning point in my life came when I was your age. I just graduated from college. I was going to Georgetown University Law School. I lived in a big group house, 14 guys, keg in the tub, the whole deal. I was 2 weeks into law school, and a buddy of mine said, hey, you want to work on President Carter's re-election? I said, what the heck, I can always go to law school. I was actually getting a little bit of a scholarship. My mother wasn't too excited when I called to tell her I was leaving law school to go work on a campaign that looked like it had no future, but it was a chance. I then traveled over 40 states at the age of 23. I became the youngest finance director in the history of our country of a presidential campaign. I was good at asking people for money. That chance that I took, folks, changed my life. And the experiences that I have had have come really from that turning point. So my point to you today is if an opportunity comes along and a chance, take it. Might not be the easy path, it may be much more risky, but take that path. It's important for you if you're going to be successful to try new things. Now, I'm sure their parents are not excited if you're going to law school that I'm telling you to leave to go work on a campaign. But if you want to go work on a presidential campaign, I might have a candidate you might be interested in, but we won't. Folks, there is a difference between accepting a comfortable life and reaching out for an exceptional one. When I look back at all the experience that I've had, I'm glad that I've taken the chances I did. Each of you will have opportunities to make decisions to move your lives forward. But taking every risk is not wise. But neither is passing on opportunities out of the fear of the risk of unknown. Finally, my last piece of advice is a follow-up on the first two. If you're bold, if you take chances, guess what? You are going to fail. You are going to experience rejection at times. It happens. But please don't be afraid to fail. And that is the one tipping point for many folks, is they're afraid that they may fail. Don't do that. Now, few people are more qualified to offer advice on failure than I am. I talk about the businesses. I have been involved in dozens and dozens. Many worked, but many didn't. I've lost money. I thought I had the greatest idea in the world, but nobody else did. That's going to happen. Try new things. You may not know this, but I actually ran for governor in 2009, a platform of big ideas, high-speed rail, renewable energy, moving Virginia forward. And I said, if you don't like my big ideas, don't vote for me. And you didn't. That's all right. I had a great time. But the point is, if I believed in what I was doing, it's important what you do the next day. Not that you got knocked down and you failed, and some people like to see people fail. It's what you do that next day. I got out of bed that next day, and I hit the road, and I spent 4 years crisscrossing Virginia. And today, because of that effort, I am now the 72nd governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia, because I got out of bed and I got back to work. I suited up and I got back out there. So folks, when you go to bed tonight, I want one thing on your mind. Patrick Henry, Thomas Jefferson, Terry McAuliffe. And that's important, folks. Failure is a part of life. It's what you do the next day that counts. I do hope that you will adopt some of the advice that I've given you today. Think big, take chances, and don't be afraid to fail. In closing, here are just a few other things I learned along the way. First, there is no such thing as a bad day. Every day that you wake up has the potential to be a great one. If you get out of bed and you're having a bad day, then you're in the wrong line of work. Get up, fired to go. Sleep when you are dead, folks. Keep going. I would also never, ever take yourself too seriously, and always be positive. Positive energy creates things. People want to be with winners, not whiners. So stay positive. I don't have negative thoughts. I don't say bad thing about other people. I really don't care. I am moving forward at 180 miles an hour, happy as I can be. That's what you have to do. Roll with the punches and be flexible. You will miss opportunities if you're too rigid. And I always say this, do, folks, what you want to do. Don't let anybody tell you what you have to do. You only live once. Get it all in. It's your life. And finally, the most important thing, if you remember one thing, say, well, who is that commencement speaker? I don't know. I asked someone yesterday. I can't remember who it was. You remember one thing from today, folks, please. Whatever you do, always, always have fun, because that is the key to life. And I am expecting great things for starting businesses, and I want you to put those businesses here in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Thank you, God bless you, and good luck with your future.
Governor, please proceed.
I love you too.
Governor, thank you for that wonderfully invigorating speech filled with wisdom, and thank you for its wonderful brevity as well. Each year at VCU's commencement ceremony, we offer special recognition to individuals whose careers and values have enhanced Virginia Commonwealth University and the quality of life in our communities in Virginia and around the world. We begin today with the presentation of the Honorary Doctor of Humane Letters. This is Virginia Commonwealth University's highest recognition, and it acknowledges those who have made outstanding contributions to society through scholarship, humanitarianism, science, art, and public service. This year, I am proud to be a part of awarding the Honorary Doctor of Humane Letters to our commencement speaker today, our Governor, Terry McAuliffe. Provost Hackett, would you please come forward? Board of Visitors Rector Bill Ginther, would you please now escort our honorary degree recipient, Governor McAuliffe, forward?
Governor McAuliffe, your tireless devotion to the Commonwealth of Virginia and the good of its citizens as our 72nd governor, and your belief in and commitment to upholding the rights of people from all walks of life have been profound. Your willingness to work across interests and unite efforts to establish and achieve common goals continues to inspire and influence, empowering enormous change and ensuring immeasurable benefits for our future. Through your pragmatism, creativity, caring, and spirit of innovation, you have touched the lives of all Virginians, founding a legacy that is just beginning and which we are enormously proud to honor today. President Rao.
Governor Terry McAuliffe, in recognition of your great achievements by the authority vested in me by the Board of Visitors of Virginia Commonwealth University, I hereby confer upon you the degree Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, with all of the rights, privileges, and emoluments thereunto pertaining. Hang on. And this is the citation. Our next very special award is the Presidential Medallion. This is an award that was established in 1984 by the Board of Visitors to honor outstanding contributions by members of the university community. This is an award that recognizes individuals for their extraordinary achievement in learning and in commitment to the great mission of Virginia Commonwealth University. This year's Presidential Medallion goes to the late Thomas Huff. His wife, May Ligon Huff, is going to accept this award on her husband's behalf. So, Rector Ginther, would you please escort May Ligon to the podium? Provost Hackett.
Over a celebrated career spanning 30 years at Virginia Commonwealth University, Thomas Huff embodied all the best characteristics of the university itself. He was insatiably curious, inspiring as a collaborator, devoted to advancing his students, and always working to expand our realm of knowledge. Much more than that, he was a humanist and a role model. Convinced that life sciences, a field to which he was devoted, would be the defining science of the 21st century, he worked tirelessly to make that happen. As Vice Provost for Life Sciences and Research, Dr. Huff fundamentally changed the academic and research discipline of science at VCU, and in the process, changed many lives along with it. By helping to put the university in the forefront, he has established a legacy upon which our future will continue to be built. President Rao.
In honor of his life's pursuit of opening minds to explore what's possible, by the authority vested in me by the Board of Visitors of Virginia Commonwealth University, I hereby present May Ligon Huff on behalf of Dr. Thomas Huff in memoriam with this Presidential Medallion. At this time, we will now proceed to presenting all of our candidates for their degrees. I will ask the Graduate School Dean, Doug Boudneau, if he will please come forward and present to us all the Doctor of Philosophy and Doctor of Education candidates.
Thank you, President Rao. Will candidates for the degrees of Doctor of Philosophy and Doctor of Education please rise? Mr. President, as Dean of the Graduate School, it gives me great pleasure to present these candidates who have fulfilled all of the requirements and are recommended by the graduate faculty at Virginia Commonwealth University.
And by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Commonwealth of Virginia, the Board of Visitors, upon the recommendation of each of your faculty members, I am pleased to confer upon each of you your doctoral degrees. Dean Boudneau.
The candidates' major advisors will join me in hooding the PhD and EDD recipients. President Rao will be joined by Rector Ginther in congratulating the candidates.
Catherine Emery, Doctor of Philosophy in Health-Related Sciences, accompanied by Tony Gentry. Okay, the name? What's your program? Joanne Fallon, Doctor of Philosophy in Occupational Therapy, accompanied by Shelley Lane. Barbara J. Cry, Doctor of Philosophy in Health-Related Sciences, accompanied by Teresa Natter. Your card. And your program is Allied Health. Jason Lowe, Doctor of Philosophy in Allied Health, accompanied by Dr. Hartland. Elizabeth Rayleigh White, Doctor of Philosophy in Chemical Biology, accompanied by Matthew Hartman. Chelsea M. Coffey, Doctor of Philosophy in Chemistry, accompanied by Scott Groner. Carrie Mark Davis, Doctor of Philosophy in Chemistry, accompanied by Scott Groner. Christopher A. Swift, Doctor of Philosophy in Chemistry, accompanied by Scott Groner. Alex D. Martin, Doctor of Philosophy in Chemistry, accompanied by Frank Gupton. Kendra W. Brinkley, Doctor of Philosophy in Engineering, accompanied by Frank Gupton. Karen E. Kirsting, Doctor of Philosophy in Counseling Psychology, accompanied by Kathy Ingram. Timothy G. Coffey, Doctor of Philosophy in Rehabilitation and Movement Science, accompanied by Peter Pidco. Abad N. Alzuman, Doctor of Philosophy in Public Policy and Administration, accompanied by Sarah Jane Brubaker. Andrea Anthes, Doctor of Education and Leadership, accompanied by Thomas Beatty. William Caton Jr., Doctor of Education and Leadership, accompanied by Thomas Beatty. Donna H. Jackson, Doctor of Education and Leadership, accompanied by Thomas Beatty. Jeffrey M. Oberg, Doctor of Education and Leadership, accompanied by Thomas Beatty. Faith A. Wilkerson, Doctor of Education and Leadership, accompanied by Thomas Beatty. Decardra L. Jackson, Doctor of Education and Leadership, accompanied by Thomas Beatty. Michael A. Jackson, Doctor of Education and Leadership, accompanied by Brenda Kalbeck. Ann L. Johnston, Doctor of Education and Leadership, accompanied by Brenda Kalbeck. Anna L. Hebb, Doctor of Education and Leadership, accompanied by Barbara Driver. Lisa B. Webb, Doctor of Education and Leadership, accompanied by Barbara Driver. Sarah E. Morris, Doctor of Education and Leadership, accompanied by Barbara Driver. Valerie N. Burge Hall, Doctor of Philosophy and Education, accompanied by Joanne Richardson. Carol Ann Zylkowski, Doctor of Philosophy and Education, accompanied by Joanne Richardson. Shi Gao, Doctor of Philosophy and Engineering, accompanied by Tom Aratz. Vasudha Surampudi, Doctor of Philosophy and Engineering, accompanied by Xu Zhen. Huailing Lu, Doctor of Philosophy and Engineering, accompanied by Xu Zhen. Luowan Zhu, Doctor of Philosophy and Biomedical Engineering, accompanied by Xu Zhen. George T. Gitchell, Doctor of Philosophy and Biomedical Engineering, accompanied by Xu Zhen. Anna Marie C. Dalton, Doctor of Philosophy and Biochemistry, accompanied by Keith Baker. Divya Padmanabha, Doctor of Philosophy in Biochemistry, accompanied by Keith Baker. David E. Durant, Doctor of Philosophy in Biochemistry, accompanied by Rakesh Kurikaza. Jesse Yester, Doctor of Philosophy in Biochemistry, accompanied by Tomas Cordula. Hadiza Gal Adima, Doctor of Philosophy in Biostatistics, accompanied by Donna McClish. Kara Phillips Wiseman, Doctor of Philosophy in Epidemiology, accompanied by Risa Jones. Maria Laura Amaya, Doctor of Philosophy in Microbiology and Immunology, accompanied by Gordon Ginder. Aaron A. Wall, Doctor of Philosophy in Microbiology and Immunology, accompanied by Gail Christie. Nala Khalil Saleh, Doctor of Philosophy in Medical Physics, accompanied by Jeffrey Cybers. Douglas J. Vile, Doctor of Philosophy in Medical Physics, accompanied by Joshua Evans. Julie L. Chan, Doctor of Philosophy in Neuroscience, accompanied by Linda Phillips. Scott K. Adney, Doctor of Philosophy in Physiology and Biophysics, accompanied by Diomedes E. Logothetis. Michael D. Connery, Doctor of Philosophy in Physiology and Biophysics, accompanied by Roland Pittman. Laura O'Brien, Doctor of Philosophy in Physiology and Biophysics, accompanied by James P. Bennett, Jr. Stuti Agarwal, Doctor of Philosophy in Molecular Biology and Genetics, accompanied by Richard Moran. Muhammad A. Al-Mohani, Doctor of Philosophy in Toxicology and Pharmacology, accompanied by Lawrence Povrick.
The same thing, pharmacology and toxicology.
Morek R. Al-Otabi, Doctor of Philosophy in Pharmacology and Toxicology, accompanied by Lawrence Povrick. Clayton T. Bauer, Doctor of Philosophy in Pharmacology and Toxicology, accompanied by Sidney Stevens Negus. Joy K. Gaidia, Doctor of Philosophy in Pharmacology and Toxicology, accompanied by Dr. Hamed Al-Paraki. Morse Faria, Doctor of Philosophy in Pharmaceutical Sciences, accompanied by Thomas Carnes. Osama Al-Wasl, Doctor of Philosophy in Pharmaceutical Sciences, accompanied by Thomas Carnes. Gopashan Gotapati, Doctor of Philosophy in Pharmaceutical Sciences, accompanied by Thomas Carnes. Basim Mohammed, Doctor of Philosophy in Pharmaceutical Sciences, accompanied by Donald F. Brophy. Lisa A. Gray, Doctor of Philosophy in Social Work, accompanied by Sarah Kai Price. Andrew C. Shunaman, Doctor of Philosophy in Social Work, accompanied by Sarah Price. Catherine L. Lewis, Doctor of Philosophy in Art History, accompanied by Margaret Lindauer. Lindsay M. Corin, Doctor of Philosophy in Integrative Life Sciences, accompanied by S. Lee McAllister.
Once again, congratulations to all of our PhD and other doctoral graduates. And now I will turn our attention back to Dean Boudinot, who will present candidates for their master's degrees as well as post-baccalaureate certificates. Dean Boudinot.
Thank you, Dr. Rao. Will the master's degree candidates for all majors in the following schools and offices please rise? College of Humanities and Sciences, School of Allied Health Professions, School of the Arts, School of Business, School of Dentistry, School of Education, School of Engineering, L. Douglas Wilder School of Government and Public Affairs, School of Medicine. Please remain standing, thank you. School of Nursing, School of Pharmacy, School of Social Work, VCU Life Sciences, VCU Office of Research, Clinical and Translational Sciences, VCU Da Vinci Center, all other master's programs. Now, will the candidates for all post-baccalaureate and post-master's certificates in all disciplines please rise? Mr. President, as Dean of the Graduate School, it gives me great pleasure to present these candidates who have fulfilled all of the requirements and are recommended by the graduate faculty.
Dean Boudinot, do we have all master's degree candidates and post-baccalaureate certificate awardees today? Right. Thank you. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Commonwealth of Virginia, the Board of Visitors, upon the recommendation of your faculties, I am very pleased to confer upon each of you your master's degrees and certificates. Thank you. And you may be seated, please. School of Allied Health Professions Dean Cecil Drain, would you please now come forward and present candidates for the degree Doctor of Nurse Anesthesia Practice?
Will the candidates for the degree Doctorate Nurse Anesthesia Practice please rise? Mr. President, as Dean of the School of Allied Health Professions, it gives me great pleasure to present these students from our top-ranked program in nurse anesthesia by U.S. News and World Report for the last 14 years, who have fulfilled all requirements and are recommended by their world-class faculty.
And by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Commonwealth of Virginia and the Board of Visitors, upon the recommendation of your faculty, it is my pleasure to confer upon each one of you your degree, Doctor of Nurse Anesthesia Practice. Congratulations. And now, Dean Drain, would you kindly present our candidates for the degree Doctor of Occupational Therapy?
Will the candidates for the degree of Doctorate of Occupational Therapy please rise? Mr. President, as Dean of the School of Allied Health Professions, it gives me great pleasure to present these students from our highly ranked occupational therapy program by U.S. News and World Report, who have fulfilled all requirements and are recommended by their world-class faculty.
And by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Commonwealth of Virginia and the Board of Visitors, upon the recommendation of your faculty, it is my pleasure to confer upon each of you the degree Doctor of Occupational Therapy. And now, Dean Drain, would you kindly present our candidates for the degree Doctor of Physical Therapy?
Will the candidates for the degree Doctorate of Physical Therapy please rise? Mr. President, as Dean of the School of Allied Health Professions, it gives me great pleasure to present these students from our highly ranked physical therapy program, as ranked by U.S. News and World Report for the last 10 years, who fulfilled all requirements and are recommended by our nationally rated faculty.
And by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Commonwealth of Virginia and the Board of Visitors, upon the recommendation of your faculty, it is my pleasure to confer upon each one of you your degree, Doctor of Physical Therapy. Now, if School of Dentistry Dean Dave Surratt will please come forward, he will present the candidates for the degree Doctor of Dental Surgery.
Will the candidates for the degree Doctor of Dental Surgery please rise? Mr. President, as Dean of Dentistry, it gives me great pleasure to present these students who have fulfilled all requirements and are recommended by the outstanding faculty of the School of Dentistry. And furthermore, through 100% participation of the class, this class has made a $28,000 gift and pledge to support innovative clinical equipment for future students.
And by virtue, yes. And by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Commonwealth of Virginia, the Board of Visitors, upon the recommendation of your faculty in dentistry, I am pleased to confer upon each one of you the degree Doctor of Dental Surgery. Thank you. Now, School of Medicine Dean Jerry Strauss, will you please now come forward and present candidates for the degree Doctor of Medicine?
This is the right one. Will the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Medicine please rise? Mr. President, as Dean of the School of Medicine, it is a distinct honor to present these students who have fulfilled all requirements and are recommended by our outstanding faculty. You look at the future of medicine.
And by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Commonwealth of Virginia, the Board of Visitors, and upon the recommendation of the faculty in the School of Medicine, I am pleased to confer upon each of you the degree Doctor of Medicine. Now, School of Pharmacy Dean Joe DePiro, will you please come forward and present candidates for the degree Doctor of Pharmacy?
Will the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Pharmacy please rise? Mr. President, as Dean of the School of Pharmacy, it gives me great pleasure to present these students who have fulfilled all requirements and are recommended by the faculty.
And by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Commonwealth of Virginia, the Board of Visitors, upon the recommendation of your faculty, I am pleased to confer upon each one of you the degree Doctor of Pharmacy. At this time, I'd like to ask VCU Honors College Dean Barry Falk to please come forward to the podium and kindly acknowledge students who will graduate today with Latin and University honors.
Thank you, Dr. Rao. In accordance with university tradition, those bachelor degree holders who have done exceptionally well academically and have completed a minimum of 45 credits at VCU are recognized with Latin honors. All students with a grade point average between 3.3 and 3.59 on a scale of up to 4.0 are graduating cum laude, which signifies graduation with academic distinction. Will these students please rise? Please be seated. All students with a grade point average between 3.6 and 3.89 are graduating magna cum laude, which signifies graduation with high academic distinction. Will these students please rise? Please be seated. All students with a grade point average of 3.9 or higher are graduating summa cum laude, which signifies graduation with the highest academic distinction. Will these students please rise? Thank you and congratulations to you all. Consistent with our theme today of thinking big and seizing opportunities, I would also like to recognize all of the bachelor's degree candidates who, in addition to earning Latin honors, have completed the rigorous requirements of Virginia Commonwealth University's Honors College and are graduating today with university honors. Would you please stand? Congratulations on your exceptional achievement. Thank you.
Now let's proceed to the award of baccalaureate degrees and certificates. So at this time I'll ask College of Humanities and Sciences Dean Jim Coleman if he would kindly come forward to the podium.
Isn't this great? Will the candidates for all bachelor's degrees and baccalaureate certificates in the College of Humanities please rise? Mr. President, as Dean of Humanities and Sciences, it gives me the absolute greatest pleasure to present these outstanding students who have fulfilled all requirements and are recognized by our world-class faculty.
And by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Commonwealth of Virginia, the Board of Visitors, and upon the recommendation of your faculty, I am pleased to confer upon each one of you your baccalaureate degrees and certificates. Thank you. And now I ask School of Allied Health Professions Dean Cecil Drain if he will kindly come back to the podium.
Will the candidates for the bachelor's degree from the School of Allied Health Professions please rise? Mr. President, as Dean of the School of Allied Health Professions, it gives me great pleasure to present these students from our top-ranked school who have fulfilled all requirements and are recommended by our world-class faculty.
And by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Commonwealth of Virginia, the Board of Visitors, upon the recommendation of your faculty, I am pleased to confer upon each one of you your baccalaureate degrees. And I thank you. School of Arts Dean Joe Seipel, would you please now come forward to the podium?
Will the candidates for bachelor degrees and baccalaureate certificates in all majors for the U.S. News and World Report's #1 ranked public school of arts in the country please rise? Mr. President, as Dean of the School of the Arts, it gives me great pleasure to present these students who have fulfilled all requirements and are recommended by their faculty.
And by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Commonwealth of Virginia, the Board of Visitors, upon the recommendation of your faculty, it is my pleasure to confer upon each one of you your baccalaureate degrees and your certificates. At this time, I will ask the School of Business Dean, Ed Greer, to kindly come forward to the podium.
Will the candidates for all bachelor's degrees and baccalaureate certificates in the School of Business please rise? Mr. President, as Dean of the School of Business, it gives me great pleasure to present these students who have fulfilled all of the requirements and are recommended by our great faculty.
And by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Commonwealth of Virginia, the Board of Visitors, and upon the recommendation of your faculty, I am pleased to confer upon each of you your baccalaureate degrees and certificates. School of Dentistry Dean Dave Surratt, would you kindly come back to the podium?
Will the candidates for the bachelor's degree in dental hygiene in the School of Dentistry please rise? Mr. President, as Dean of Dentistry, it gives me great pleasure to present these students who have fulfilled all requirements and are recommended by their excellent faculty. And through 100% participation of the class, this class has made a $6,300 gift and pledge to support updating clinical equipment for future students.
And by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Commonwealth of Virginia, the Board of Visitors, and upon the recommendation of your faculty, I am pleased to confer upon each one of you your baccalaureate degrees. At this time, I will ask School of Education Dean Chris Walter Thomas to kindly come forward to the podium.
Mr. President, will the candidates for bachelor's degrees and post-bachelor degrees in the School of Education please stand? As the School of Education concludes a year-long celebration of 50 years of preparing educators, exemplary educators, it is a pleasure to recommend these students who have completed all requirements and who are recommended highly by an outstanding faculty.
And by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Commonwealth of Virginia, the Board of Visitors, upon the recommendation of your faculty, I am pleased to confer upon each of you your baccalaureate degrees. At this time, I will ask School of Engineering Dean Barbara Boyan to come forward.
Okay. Mr. President, will the candidates for all bachelor's degrees and baccalaureate certificates in the very best School of Engineering at Virginia Commonwealth University please stand? Mr. President, as Dean of Engineering, it gives me great pleasure to present these students who fulfilled all requirements and are recommended by their faculty.
And by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Commonwealth of Virginia, the Board of Visitors, upon the recommendation of your faculty, I am pleased to confer upon each one of you your baccalaureate degrees and certificates. At this time, I'll ask the Dean of the L. Douglas Wilder School, Niraj Verma, to kindly come forward and present our next candidates.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Will the candidates for all bachelor's degrees in the L. Douglas Wilder School of Government and Public Affairs please rise? Mr. President, as Dean of the L. Douglas Wilder School of Government and Public Affairs, it gives me great pleasure and it's a distinct honor to present these students who fulfilled all requirements for their degrees and are recommended by our distinguished faculty.
And by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Commonwealth of Virginia, the Board of Visitors, upon the recommendation of your faculty, I am pleased to confer upon each one of you your baccalaureate degrees.
Congratulations.
Will School of Nursing Dean Jean Giddens please come forward to the podium?
Will all candidates for all bachelor's degrees in the School of Nursing please rise? Mr. President, as Dean of Nursing, it gives me great pleasure to present these students who have fulfilled all requirements and are recommended by the faculty.
And by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Commonwealth of Virginia, the Board of Visitors, and upon the recommendation of your faculty, I am pleased to confer upon each one of you your baccalaureate degrees.
Happy Nurses Day.
I will now ask the School of Social Work Dean Jim Hinterlong to please come forward to the podium.
Thank you. Will the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Social Work please rise? Mr. President, as Dean of the School of Social Work, it gives me great pleasure to present these students who, along with their classmates and master's degree colleagues, completed 1/3 of a million hours of service to the Commonwealth of Virginia and its citizens this year. They have fulfilled all requirements for the degree and are recommended by our outstanding faculty to be professional social workers.
And by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Commonwealth of Virginia, the Board of Visitors, upon the recommendation of your faculty, I am pleased to confer upon each of you your baccalaureate degrees. I'll now ask University College Dean Gardner Campbell if he will please come forward to the podium.
Will the candidates for bachelor's degrees in interdisciplinary studies in the University College please rise? Mr. President, as Dean of University College, it gives me great pleasure to present these students who have fulfilled all requirements and are recommended by the faculty.
And by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Commonwealth of Virginia, the Board of Visitors, upon the recommendation of your faculty, I am very pleased to confer upon each of you the degree Bachelor of Interdisciplinary Studies. Thank you. I'll ask Life Sciences Vice Provost Len Smock if he will please come forward to the podium.
Thank you, President Rao. Will the candidates for all bachelor's degrees for life sciences please rise? Mr. President, as Interim Vice Provost for Life Sciences, it gives me great pleasure to present these students who have fulfilled all requirements and are recommended by the faculty.
And by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Commonwealth of Virginia, the Board of Visitors, upon the recommendation of your faculty, I am pleased to confer upon each of you your baccalaureate degrees. And now, Provost Hackett, would you kindly return to the podium?
Thank you, President Rao. At this time, I invite Baxter Perkinson, VCU Alumni President, to share some final remarks. Baxter.
Before I make my remarks, I'd like to single out somebody that's helping our reputation enormously, day by day, year by year, making us as alumni better and better and more recognized. And it's people like him that's carrying this university to its final end. And I'd like to just say that to Michael Rao. On behalf of the VCU alumni and all of its constituent organizations, it is my privilege and proud honor to welcome you to this wonderful occasion. To be here today, you have received much support and encouragement from your families and friends. But this personal educational achievement is a tribute to your hard work and intellectual perseverance. As you graduate today and bring this chapter of your academic career to a close, we hope you will recognize your university and your alumni organization that has provided you with solid ground from which to grow. We also hope, as alumni, and you know, as of this moment, you are now alumni. I'll be the first person to say anything to you. So, we also hope, as alumni, you will use your significant talents and energies to not only continue alumni stewardship for future generations, but also to expand upon it. We invite you to join over 160,000 alumni throughout the world, and with words and deeds show the excellence and quality of your education. Be proud of your university because we are proud of you. Our wish for each of you is that you realize your full potential, and in so doing, find a method of contributing back to society and to this university in such a way that it is meaningful to you. We are honored to welcome you into our alumni family. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Baxter. Now, it is my pleasure to officially make you VCU's newest alumni, so I want you to practice with me a really fun, great tradition, and that is for graduates to move their tassels from the right side of their mortarboards to the left side of their mortarboards. Would you do that now? Congratulations to VCU's class of 2015!
Graduates, families, and friends, this brings our commencement ceremony to a close. We ask that you kindly allow the platform party to exit. Our marshals will then lead you in our processional. On behalf of President Rao and the VCU Board of Visitors, we wish you all the very best. Congratulations again and good luck.